Welcome back to the Panelist Podcast, people. And as you can see, I have two returning guests back to the channel. But this is a new show, a new launch, new beginnings. This show is called UCL Nights. And on this show, we'll talk about everything football in the Champions League. We might dive into a little bit of the Europa League and maybe the Conference League if we're really bored. But before we continue, to my right, I have Flawless. Mr. Take Note to himself actually laughs at his own jokes. Flawless, pick up yourself. How about?
Facts, 100% laugh at my own jokes. I'm hilarious. But blessings for having me. Appreciate it. Blessings, I appreciate it. It's been a minute since I've been over here as well. So, yeah, man, looking forward to the show. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. And to my left, we have no nonsense. My general, Chelsea brother in blue. Guni, what about?
Yes, man. I love the intro, and it's also good to be back. It's very good to be back on the show, man. You already know I've missed this, man. I've missed it. So here we are. Let's get to it.
Yeah, man. And you know, unlike the Yardman show and other shows I've been on, this will be a logical football talk. Flawless. This will be a logical football
Hey,
talk.
nah, don't do that. Hey, Kaneki talking to you. You know what I'm saying? I tried. And then you might just take it elsewhere. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's run it.
For real. But yeah, people, before we continue, please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Guni will be a regular on my channel. Flawless will be a regular on my channel. Please subscribe to the Sarcasm City TV. Them man, they not sleep. Them people that don't sleep. I'm going to understand why. Because sleep nice. Because sometimes you dream about some things and it comes to fruition. But they don't sleep. And remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. But UCL Nights, this show will be about UCL football. And given that it is about UCL football, did you guys see the schedule? Did you guys see the draws? What are we thinking about for the league phase thus far? Let me start with Guni.
Do you know what? I haven't even seen the draw, so you guys can surprise me. You can enlighten me.
All right, so
the draw was very, like, we got a lot of storylines and a lot of narratives that we wanted. That's what I would say. There's so many. You got old players returning to former clubs, and there's a lot of that in there. For instance, obviously, top of it is the Liverpool Real Madrid thing with Trent. Like, that's what we all wanted. We didn't want Real Madrid versus Liverpool at the Bernabeu. We wanted Real Madrid versus Liverpool at Anfield, and we got that. So there's more. I think Pogba as well. Monaco, if I'm stand corrected, and they not playing Manchester City and playing another English club as well.
Mm-hmm. So Pogba coming back to England is
Pogba coming back to England twice, and there's even more, but they're just two off the top of my head as well.
Most definitely. For me, that Trent going back to Liverpool is adds to the narrative that Liverpool and Real Madrid have become fierce rivals over the years in this competition. I think it was 2 finals, and Liverpool lost both finals against Real Madrid, and countless semi-finals, and Real Madrid got the better of Liverpool in those semi-finals. Now, we both know a couple Liverpool fans, you know, and one of the main sticking point for the Liverpool-Real Madrid beef is Trent Alexander-Arnold and him sleeping at the back post in that final, where Real Madrid only won 1-0 and Vinicius tapped it in for a goal. So that is feeding into the narrative. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Go on, Guni.
Sorry, I was just literally looking through the fixtures.
You're good.
Yeah.
All good. But yeah, in regards to it going back, perfect. What more? It's like this was written. This is like it was a Netflix documentary, or this is an Amazon Prime documentary. We all wanted that. I think so. Especially the Liverpool fans. They are baying for blood. Because that was a long, drawn-out saga, and they despise him. They despise him.
But you know what, to be fair, yeah?
Go on.
I think Liverpool are looking at this tie, and they're probably not going to be as scared as what we think, because I'll be real, this Real Madrid team that I'm seeing, it's not as strong as what it once was before. Look, I get it. You know, they've had massive changes over the past couple of seasons. Mbappe coming in, a few outs as well have kind of disrupted things, and then you've got the stories on Rodrigo, but nonetheless, it's still going to be a good game. But I don't think Liverpool are going to be looking at that and thinking, rah, like it's going to be like how it was back in the day.
Oh, yeah, they bang up for it, 100%. They up for it, like, in regards to winning the actual match. I was just talking about it from the Trent perspective. They are ready to boo him out of the stadium. Like, they cannot wait. Because they have so much vim. They cried all summer long about it and how Real Madrid did them dirty and Trent's a snake. So I'm so happy that we get this early because I was thinking, it's going to be like a quarterfinal tie or maybe a semi-final tie. But hey, in the league phase, let's go.
Yeah. Bro, can you imagine if Trent scores a free kick
I
at Anfield and it's a winner? These people would have a genuine meltdown. And you brought up a point where Trent has been called a snake. I will still never understand how this man called a snake. He was at the club, he won everything there is to win, and he ran down his contract. I get it, he ran down his contract. But if you had negotiated a contract earlier, you could have gotten a fee for him. Now, in my opinion, let's talk about this tie just a little bit more. This summer transfer window, Liverpool pulled off a Galacticos transfer window. Who's known for Galactical transfer windows? Real Madrid. They brought in Isak, Ekitike, the two fullbacks, Kerkez, Frimpong, and they brought in Florian Wirtz. Each of them, I think they spent like 500 million this summer.
It's a hell of a lot. They broke the record transfer fee twice.
The British record transfer fee twice. Right? So for them, this is a huge transfer window. And when you look at Real Madrid is on a different path in terms of transfers. They've been bringing in free transfers or low value transfers, right? And at this point, their biggest coup for Real Madrid this summer was the coach, was Xavi Alonso, because his style of play changed, and we saw some players not getting the looking that they were getting in the past, i.e. Rodrigo. We saw the birth of a new striker over the summer, which is Gonzalo, right? So, and he's playing this new formation. Mbappe started on fire. It's going to be a good game. And I think both teams are defensively susceptible. That is the phrase that I'm looking for. So for me, it's going to be a good tie. As we get closer to that tie, we'll discuss score lines. For the next tie I'm looking forward to, I'm going to go right to it. That Chelsea-Bayern Munich match.
I said Chelsea-Bayern, this bias is disgusting.
Hey, so Chelsea channel, don't be doing that.
Chelsea, are you fully aware that PSG are playing Barcelona in this league?
We're gonna get to that next, bro.
How is that behind Chelsea Bayern?
We are building up to. Listen, it's been a while.
It's the main event.
You know what it is. You haven't been in the UCL for a while, so I get it. I get your.
That's right.
My brother, how you feeling about this?
Yeah.
No, that was gonna be one of my questions. I was like a Champions League show, but we got Man United fan. No disrespect here with Flawless. You know what I mean? The question was always gonna be asked.
I hear that, innit? And when you lot have three, come back and chat to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I
might have three by the end of the season. So we'll
talk about that. What did you say, Javon? You might have what at the end of the season?
By the end of the season, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Guni, what we saying about the Bayern Munich attack? We're not going to. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to lower ourselves to someone that's not even in the competition. Didn't even finish top half of the table last season. So we're going to keep it. You
saying out of sight, out of mind, yeah?
Right.
Hey, this is the Champions League show. We shouldn't be talking about Manchester United, man. Let's get to it. We're not in the competition. Yeah.
Hey, the man's got a point.
He does have a point. He's have a point. Now, we're going back to the Allianz Arena. I think the last time we went there, we lost 4-something. And the aggregate score was 8-something.
Yeah, at least it weren't 10. But anyway... That's the story for another day. Listen, you know what?
Go.
I'm gonna say something. By my standards, that's kind of crazy. I don't fear nobody in this competition. I swear down. I don't fear anybody. I have more faith in this team winning the Champions League, way more so than winning the Premier League, 100%.
Yep.
Because on our day, we have shown and proven that it doesn't matter who you are. If we turn up, we can definitely get a result, 100%. So, obviously going to Bayern is never going to be it's not going to be an easy job. They've got top quality players. But then also as well, they got to remember their top quality players are going to be tested against us. You know what I mean? Michael Olise versus Cucurella. Yeah, he ain't had a staunch test like that for a long time. Yeah, there's a couple of them that are looking to be like, all right then, yeah, we're coming up against some more serious players, not no Bundesliga rubbish that we're facing week in, week out. Yeah, no disrespect to that league, but you're talking...
Luis Diaz versus Reece James?
Yeah,
I know
that's what I'm
one thing.
saying. That's what I'm saying, man. So it looks like a tasty fixture, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said, no team scares me. Not even Bayern Munich. There's nobody on this earth right now that scares me, especially in a cup competition.
Bro, I 100% agree with you, and it's just more so
What a
because
surprise.
of our style of play. Listen, I'm going to keep it not biased. This is UCL show, so we're talking about both teams, brother. Calm down. From
Nah,
a
it's
Bayern
fam. You know
Munich,
what's crazy is I hear your point. I actually hear exactly what. As much as it pains me to admit this, what Guni is saying, I hear it.
yeah,
I'm
from a
saying
Bayern Munich.
you lot have got a good. I say this now. You lot have a very good shot at this competition. Like completely non-biased. You're right. I think you're going to be right there with the favorable. I've said this with the favorable draw. Like I think you're the best out of the rest in regards to the favorites, and that you've shown already that you can beat a PSG. I think you're capable of beating a Barcelona on your day, like Guni said. Same with a Liverpool as well, and the rest you can beat also. Obviously, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but we'll see. But go on.
Leave your biases aside. From a Bayern Munich perspective, you cannot play with their attack. And I know Guni's son is injured, so that's a plus for us. You know, for those who don't know, that's Musiala.
The
Never
man that
shut someone
moves,
about
man.
Musiala.
The one that got away, bruv.
Yeah,
That one's painful.
I understand. But from a Bayern Munich perspective, we're going to have to our defense, our Chelsea's defense. Let me not be biased here. Chelsea's defense are going to have a good night, a really good night, because to keep Kane quiet, to keep Olise quiet, to keep Luis Diaz quiet, and co. It's not going to be an easy task. The only thing I'll say is their substitution is not at the level as it once was for Bayern Munich. So the longevity of the game or the physicality of the game is going to tell who can they bring on versus who can Chelsea bring on. Hey, it's gonna be a good game. I'm not gonna call it. We're not gonna do predictions yet. As we get closer to the game, we'll do predictions. Now, in the league phase, flawless. I'm gonna have you take this one. PSG versus Barcelona.
Oh, quality. I didn't even realize until I just checked because I only seen like the first couple fixtures and more so the English fixtures that those two were facing off. And I think they're not only the two best teams in the competition, I think they're the two best teams that play the best football. So therefore, I think we are in for one hell of a game. Look at the three midfields that could line up. You got João Neves, Vitinho, and Ruiz on one side. You've got De Jong, Pedri, and Gavi on the other side. Those three separately are incredible, but those three against each other, it's like interested to see who keeps the ball more, etc. Who approaches it? Does one reach? Because these teams don't know retreat. Barcelona are not defensive and hit you on the counter attack. PSG's game is not defensive and hit you on the counter attack. So I think that's going to be very interesting to see how the managers deal with that. And I think you've got two top managers as well on the sidelines too. And that's just me mentioning the midfields. Never mind the attack. Like when you look at the attacks that are both of them, I've not even thought about it because I thought so much about the midfield. How the three attacks look, and you got Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, and
Dewey or
let's say,
Barcola.
yeah. Let's throw him in there. Since
They
we're
both
being
might
like
not be fit for the
Barcola.
fixture, though.
Yeah, but
Dembele and Doué.
hey, Dembele, do it because we need to see this because this should have been the final last year. And then on the
Fact.
other side, of course, you got Yamal, who is the star boy. You know what I'm saying? He is the star boy, and let's not forget about Lewandowski. You can't just and Rafinha as well, who's been a revelation since he went over there too under Flick. So I think this game's going to be plenty of goals, plenty of quality football on show. I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
I definitely agree. I'm more so looking forward towards the defensive aspect of it because we all know what the attack's gonna be looking at. It's the defense that's gonna come out on top that day, And I am a fan favorite of mine. Our favorite of mine is Pacho from the PSG
That's
end.
quality.
He for me because I didn't know about him prior to last season UCL. He popped up out of nowhere and he's really good quality. We all know how Barcelona play with that high line, and they can be defensively susceptible. And if you look at how both teams attack the sport, Barcelona tiki taka with the high line, PSG love to press. So what's that gonna look like on match day?
Yeah.
It could, that this game could easily be a blowout for one team. This could easily be a 5-0 either way. I
Oh
can
yeah,
see
100%.
a case where
Yeah.
that happens. especially if a defender is off of it, is off the mark on that game, on that day.
You see, when you look at both midfields, it's like
Mm,
they both cancel each other out because they're both like technically just masterful, both
mhm,
sides. So I think the extra thing is also going to be to do with physicality too, because one thing that I noticed when we played with PSG, they didn't like the rough and tumble in the middle of the pitch. They did not like that. They could not handle that. So
Caicedo.
whichever team, exactly, whichever team is gonna get the better of that, I think stands more of a chance.
Most definitely, and I agree. Speaking of physicality, and we're talking about matches here. Let's shift to the Barcelona Newcastle game. Hey, I know when you look at the two teams, you're gonna say on paper Barcelona should be winning it. When you talk about physically, and you're going to St. James's Park, I don't think this game is gonna be easy for Barcelona.
Because stylistically, this is going to sound crazy. I'm saying Barcelona, yes, are the better side without question, better manager without question. But with especially with them two wingers that Newcastle have got in
Mm-hmm.
Alanga and Gordon, they probably the quickest in the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And Barcelona love to play a high line, and St. James's Park is a big pitch. So if they
Mm-hmm.
go there and play that high line, which they will, Alanga and Gordon,
It's gonna
jeez,
have a
Playing into their
field
hands, yeah.
day, bro.
jeez, lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Lightning with those two. Because I said this before, even this draw, that I was like, them two in Europe, if they like on the break away from home in particular, not against Barcelona, but away from home, they could really move to a team. So
Mm-hmm.
Barcelona, even though I would think Barcelona, I would predict Barcelona to win. That's not going to be an easy game. And
You're
if they
talking
go there and
about,
off your high line, hey, St
but
James's Park's going to be rocking too.
yeah, but you're you're talking about the high line. I'm talking about that death row midfield. You need
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
if some of the most physical sides in the Premier League struggle against Newcastle at St James, imagine that Barcelona midfield. And again, I'm right there with Fowles. I would if you ask me now, I'm predicting Barcelona to win. But if Newcastle would win that game, I would not be surprised. You outrun them. The
I'm
physical
leaning.
aspect.
I swear down. I'm leaning towards Newcastle, man. And just based on what you guys and what you both just said, I just think, look, the physicality is there. When you look at the players, the quality of the players as well, because it's not just about being physical, man. This ain't UFC. But like there is these decent technicality there as well in that midfield, and even on either side, especially on Gordon with Gordon as well. And I just think like Barca, they ain't gonna. I don't see them sitting back like Flawless said,
Yeah, they're not
and
gonna change their
that's
style of play.
Yeah.
and at some point that breakaway is going to happen. 100%. It's just whether Newcastle are gonna be clinical and take their chances. But like, look, this new signing, Nick Watermudder, I like the look of him, but I'm not gonna overcommit and say he's gonna be this or that because you already know with the Bundesliga thing, things can go either way. But from what I see of the player, I think there's a dangerous striker there.
Yeah, and he has really good feet. And we
Yes.
already have this conversation between both of us, Guni. We like tech. Tech above all else. He has tech and his first touch. So if he could imagine him being able to link up the play and spring Elanga and Gordon.
Oh yeah,
Plus that depth of midfield. Listen, I know Newcastle has been the butt of the jokes all summer, but they're still not a team to play with.
they still
Especially
got
if you
top
don't
quality.
have that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bro. If you don't have the physicality to match in midfield, they will run roughshod over you.
And speaking of Voltamari, he's 6'6" as well, so he adds he adds a lot of physicality. Man is 6'6".
Bro, those
Yeah.
crosses in Barcelona. Listen,
Man should be playing in the NBA. Man should be a backup point guard or something. Like, like for
facts,
real.
bro.
Like he is. And also we got added, you mentioned there about the tech and link up. Visa's also a factor. Him with that
Yes!
But
much
they
pace
signed him,
I
mad.
forgot.
and Visa. Let's not forget about him either. This is going
Listen.
to be a good game. And one thing I will say, I think this is going to be a very entertaining match. It's going to be
100%.
excellent, very entertaining.
Yes, and I might at times be cheering for Newcastle. I'm gonna just put that out there.
Oh yeah, I forgot you know about the beef with Barca, haven't you?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We don't mind
It's
them.
always an F Barca thing. Always.
Facts. Screw them. You know,
Listen, I'm saying this here. if they played through Tonali and Barcelona can't do anything about that, that's going to be a big problem for them.
Yes,
I rate
sir.
Tonali so highly. I think he's such a good midfielder, bro. Such a
And
good
he's
player.
really good at dictating the play.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So those counter attacks, boy, unless you're marking him and pressing him out of the game, you're going to struggle, Barca. Be careful.
And even then, Tonali is physical. He's not weak on the ball
Exactly.
as well. He's not a
Exactly.
Zubimendi. Yeah, no, he's very physical.
Yeah.
He's not a Zubimendi. Speaking of Zubimendi, Arsenal will be facing Atletico Madrid in the Champions League stage. For me, much like I've said in the past, this is going to be what Arteta cooks up. This is going to be an Arteta because we know what Simeone is going to do. Right? We've seen years of this. Since recently he's been trying to transition from this terrorism football to play a bit more attacking. But when you look at Atletico Madrid's players and how they can cover the ground, and that they have players like Griezmann, they have players like Alvarez that can finish, this should be a good game. But it's up to Arteta because, dare I say, Arteta has the better side. Can't believe I'm saying this about Arsenal, but I have to be impartial.
You're not lying. They definitely
Arsenal have a very good team. Very good team. Like, without that, we all know what the problem is, but some of their fan base, for whatever reason, don't want to admit it. Which is not only going to cost them in the league, I think it cost them massively in this competition too.
Because, in my opinion, going up against an Atletico Madrid of this stature, it's the right time to be attacking. You know, you let your Odegaard show go, you let your Odegaard, your Eze's, your Saka's, if he's fit, your Gyökeres, let them play. Go ahead, Guni. Go ahead.
Let me ask you both something.
Sure.
Do you think Arsenal have improved from last season? When you really sit down and think about it, have they improved to the both of you?
In regards
I'll let you go first.
In regards to squad, yes, I think they have. Yes, I think they're a much better side. And when I say that, this is why it's tough to say. Like, in regards to personnel and options, yes. Do I expect that to translate onto the pitch? No, I don't.
Yeah, I kind of understand that. But
Yeah, I don't.
I'm also looking at personnel, and I'm saying, is Zubamendi better than Thomas Partey?
No.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Does Gyökeres look like he's gonna fit into this team without some kind of tactical,
And
change?
That's where the issue lies is you can't have someone who's put up Gyökeres' numbers, and even though it's only a few games, have him looking the way he's looking. That's why I say a better manager gets more. Even though I agree with you in regards, so I don't think Zubamendi, from what I've seen, is better than Partey. But I think the midfield has enough quality where a good manager gets enough out of that midfield for them to hit that, for them to win major trophies.
So
sorry, Javon, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
So I was gonna say, let's talk about that real quick. To answer your question, on paper they look better, but my issue again is with the manager. And let's do a quick comparison. When Ekitike came into the league, we know what he did in the Bundesliga. He didn't have like the highest goal scoring. And when he started to play for Liverpool, no one really expected him to be a consistent goal scorer thus far. If I was supposed to ask you what would be within the first 4 games, because he played the Community Shield, what would be your expected outcome for a newcomer to the league, which is in Etiquette, based on what he did last season? You probably tell me a goal and assist, or 2 goals and an assist within the first 3 games, given that Liverpool were still hunting their main striker, right? Mm-hmm. Look at the output he's had. I think it's 3 games and 3 games. 4 games, 3 goals.
Something like that, yeah. He's performing very well. Yes.
Yeah, he's performing very well. Why is that? Because he's in a system where a better manager can get the best out of him. Put him in a position where he targets his best attributes. Arteta is not doing that with Gyökeres. If you were supposed to ask me, with a better manager, what would your expectation from Gyökeres be? 3 games, 3 goals. Or even 3 games, 5 goals. Because you see the numbers he's been putting up over his last, 3-4 years. Why is it? I know the Premier League is different, but if you put a structure around a player, a man like him, you have one job. Get the ball, shoot it after the goal. 4 times out of 10, you'll get a goal. That ratio's off. 4 times out of 8, you'll get a goal. Half. Because his ratio is higher than that. But you get what I'm saying, trying to say,
I understand
right?
your overall point, yes. I hear you.
So for me, Arteta is the issue, and no one can tell me different. Go ahead.
Definitely. Like them with a serious manager is serious problems. With an
And I hope they
actual
never get a
quality
serious manager.
manager, I look at them and I go, you have everything you need to go and win a Premier League. You are capable of winning a Champions League. Definitely. There's enough quality there. But we know what the issue is. We all know why they're going to fall short.
Yeah, and as it pertains to this competition, Diego Simeone may just outcoach him. And that would not surprise me one bit.
It wouldn't surprise me either because I'm just thinking, especially with that midfield battle, if Declan Rice is left stranded in that midfield, God help. This is what I'm trying to say. He can't, as good as Declan Rice is, I rate him, but playing Zubamendi next to him with that lack of physicality and athleticism next to him, it's going to be interesting. This is why I say now, if we're talking Rice and Partey, that's a completely different conversation. That's a massive boost. But like in terms of those two, I don't know. I just don't know because you know how Simeone is as well, like how he sets up his teams. Like they're aggressive, they're workhorses, they will press you. So you got to be willing to do that for the entire 90 minutes. So everybody's got to be on the same hymn sheet, man. If one of them, if like I said, Declan Rice is left alone, it's a problem. It's a big problem, and I can see it happening.
And here's the thing to add to your point. If they play Rice as an 8, right, and they and Atletico Madrid isolate Zubimendi, it's done. Because I've seen, from what I've seen from Zubimendi, he's not physical enough to handle it.
He's not.
And I don't think he can cover the ground well. He's a good passer on the ball. He can retain the ball. He's a somewhat Jorginho type, but I don't think he's good enough to progress the ball. So let me ask you guys this. How far do you see Arsenal going in this competition?
Champions League is so draw dependent. So draw dependent. Like, because if you're on the side of the draw, and let's say it's Arsenal, and you're on the side of the draw with PSG, Bayern, Chelsea, Liverpool, you ain't making it far. Let's say argument's sake, that's their route to the final. They're not making it to the final. But they are better, in my opinion, than most teams in the competition, and we watched them get to the semi-final. I'd say, again, it's so draw dependent, but a quarter-final, semi-final appearance again would not surprise me. But again,
that would actually
draw dependent is massive.
I agree.
Massive.
All right. Guni, how far do you see Atletico Madrid going?
I mirror the same thoughts as Flawless.
For Arsenal.
Oh, you mean? Oh, sorry. For Atletico Madrid. Sorry, I thought he was going to ask about Arsenal.
Atletico.
It's a tough one, you know. I'm gonna say quarterfinals. I think they'll get to the last 8.
And then Simeone does what he does best in the Champions League. But we'll talk about that on another show.
They haven't started, but the thing is with Atletico though, they haven't. I've not watched any of La Liga, but from what I've been told, they haven't started the season well. I know they have not. Young, but they haven't started and they're not playing well.
But this is what they did seasons past, and then they became overtime. So we'll
take that, but we'll soon find out. Right?
We'll see. Find out.
Questions will get answered.
The next team that we're gonna discuss is Tottenham. Tottenham recently has had a couple household changes. One, they finally won a trophy after 17 years. And two, someone that has been deemed as a tyrant footballing wise, not business wise, but footballing wise, in Daniel Levy has left the club. And they also brought in a coach that I rate highly, Thomas Frank. Style up, we see what he almost did to PSG. We see what he did to Manchester City. He can dismantle big teams on his day. Plus, they brought in Xavi Simons, Colomwani, what's that brother name? They signed
Xavi Simons. Yeah, it was Xavi Simons, Kodos.
Kodos was the last name I was missing.
Galino, and then the centre back as well.
For Spurs, they take on Villarreal in their first game. They take on Villarreal in their first game. There's a lot of changes over this club. I think they'll get the better of Villarreal, but I don't see them going far in this competition.
Again, you look at their fixtures, they'll fancy their chances of the fixtures of getting in the top 8.
The top. Hold on. Let's look up in here, people.
Look at their fixtures. Look at their fixtures. Hear what I'm saying. Hear what I said. Spurs fans will fancy their chances. Look at their fixtures. I know they've got a couple tough ones, but look at the other 6.
Okay,
I
I see.
remember
I
having
see.
this discussion. Look at their fixtures. Who they got? Run their fixtures up.
So they got Villarreal,
Mm-hmm.
Doncaster. No, sorry, Villarreal. Let me filter for the Champions League. So they got
Yeah.
Villarreal. They
Away or
got
home?
Villarreal at home. They
Mm-hmm.
got Bodo Glimt. Okay, not okay. They got Bodo Glimt. Then they got Monaco. Then they have okay. They have FC Copenhagen.
See, you see when
Okay,
Javon
okay, okay,
leaned
okay.
forward, like who?
I
That's how
see.
you know.
Yeah, but Slavia Prague. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right,
Take
I see it too. They
take
should make
out
it out of the group.
Monaco and who was the other one?
Villarreal.
Take out no, not
Villarreal.
Monaco. There was someone else in
Dortmund.
there.
They
The
play
top
Dortmund.
team.
They play Dortmund.
Yeah, well, there was a 2 team. I'm gonna double check in a second, but take out a couple of them teams. How is that so far apart from it? If that was a Europa League run this season, you wouldn't know the difference.
True.
Yeah, that's a fact. I was gonna
If,
say that as
yeah,
well.
if you take out a couple of them at Monaco, I think it's just Monaco, and look at the rest, and you said,
They
all
play
It's
right, what
basically
Dortmund.
competition is
Europa
this?
League, man.
They
You
play
think it's
Dortmund as well.
Europa? I'm telling you, they'll find. I'm not saying they will definitely make top 8. I'm saying they will fancy their chances. Do I think they make top 8? Probably not. But I think they'll be there or thereabouts. And again, like I said about when you asked me about Arsenal, draw dependent. So heavily draw dependent is these cup competitions, in particular the Champions League. And also on top of that, whether you get drawn away or home first leg or second leg, that plays a major factor too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another team that I'm looking at in the Champions League as well is Juventus. Their style of play has changed recently, and they have a couple exciting players. One of my favorite, Yildiz.
Yes.
They take on Real Madrid. They take on Dortmund in the first game, but the fixture that I've been looking at is them versus Real Madrid. Because again, we spoke about Real Madrid versus who did we speak? I have a very short term memory, people. But we spoke about Real Madrid earlier in the segment. But Real Madrid, they're taking on Juventus. I think is at the Bernabeu, if I'm not mistaken, or is it at? Yes, they're taking on Juventus.
Is that a Bernabeu?
Is that the Bayern? Okay, they're taking on Juventus. This is going to be a game because
No,
again,
yeah, it's at the Bernabeu. Yeah, you're spot
it's
on.
at the Bernabeu. For me, these are two juggernauts going through a period of change right now, right? I remember some of the UCL Nights or some of the UCL fixtures from the past where Real Madrid would nick it when it would be Buffon versus Ronaldo and all of that good stuff. It's a completely changed time now, and Juventus are slowly trying to be on the come up. They haven't won the league in years. What are your expectations from Juventus in the Champions League? I'll start with Guni.
Juve, they're just. When was the last time they were in the competition? Actually,
It's been a while, you know.
that's what I mean. And listen, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but like growing up, these men were giants.
Yeah, they were
You know what I
regular
mean?
regulars.
They were heritage back then. Now, I don't know. Maybe they're just starting to get their way back into being a serious club again. I don't know, but I don't really have much expectations for that club. I'll be honest.
You think they make it out of the league phase, despite whatever draw they get?
I'm just
Fix-
go on, Goony.
go flawless.
No, it's cool. Go on.
How's their fixtures?
I mean, I'm saying despite their fixtures, but I can pull up their fixtures here in a minute. So yeah, the Juventus fixtures in the UCL, they got Dortmund. They have Villarreal. They have Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. They have Sporting, and they have Bodo Glimt. They also have Pafos. They have Pafos. They have Benfica. They have Monaco.
I think if they make it, they make it by the skin of their teeth. I don't see them doing it convincingly.
I agree with you. Flawless.
Yeah, I'm just having a look here because I've not really been following Juventus in regards to like how they've been playing or players they brought in. So I was just looking at one of their last lineup for the game they lost. No, sorry, they won. They beat Genoa, and I'm just looking there. So you got Thuram's out there, Locatelli, Conceição, Yildiz. A lot of people have spoken about Jonathan David. Yeah, like I've only watched him a handful of times, but every time I've watched him, I've been impressed with Conceição. So I look at it with Conceição. I look at Yildiz as well. Jonathan David, people talk about highly. when I've watched him, not really been too impressed. But like I say, that's only a handful of times. Locatelli, we know his level. You got Kefren Turam in there as well. So it seems they have some decent players. Coop Miners is over there. You still got Vlahovic over there as well. So we'll see. But they'll fancy that, like I was talking about Spurs, with those fixtures, they'll fancy their chances. They'll
You're
fancy
right.
their chances of making a run. And like you said, favorable draw, a little playoffs, get past someone, get another favorable draw, and then all of a sudden you're into the quarterfinals. It's going to be
Yep.
interesting to see how they play. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. And we'll look at some more matches as we get closer to the nights and the draws. Let me ask you guys this. Let's take a step back. How do you guys feel about the new phase of the Champions League and the new structure of the Champions League? Because this is the second year running. We'll be having this. Let me start with Flawless. What are your thoughts on the new structure of the Champions League?
I'm not gonna lie. When it was like first spoke about introduced, I was super skeptical about it. I was like, I don't like the way this is sounding. It don't sound too good. Bear in mind the explanations of it were kind of confusing, and it wasn't really clear cut. It's probably some laziness on my part in regards to not actually going into detail. But I'm more so like, all right, let me see it once it's here. But I'm not gonna lie, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. In particular, the last day as well. So the last day last year where you had teams trying to get into the top 24, and even the game before that, who was it? I think it was Bruges and Manchester City. And then the
Yeah,
loser of that would have missed out on the top 24, and Manchester City ended up getting past them. So I like that element because let's be real, the group stages was fairly dry. I
yeah.
can't remember the last time I was watching a group phase in the
Mistakes.
old format and go, oh, this is super exciting. You had the odd one, yes. I know the comments, people will be like, oh, what about when this team lost their first 3 games and then won their last 3 and then managed to get through? But I'm saying overall, and it throws up mega matches. We
Yes,
are not, it's highly unlikely we are getting PSG versus Bayern in the old format. We're not getting,
on the
sorry,
group stage.
PSG versus Barcelona. We're not getting Chelsea versus Bayern. We're not getting Liverpool versus Real Madrid. We're not getting potential juggernauts. And on top of that as well, even though the bigger teams are potentially facing each other in this format, if they lose, they're not necessarily out. So that's also a good thing as well. It's like you get chance to rectify. So yeah, I'm a fan of the format. I like it. I really do.
Guni.
There's elements about it that I do like, and there's elements about the old format that that I like as well. Like I'm still not over the fact that the away goals are gone.
I would.
That,
I'm with
That
you on
was
that.
gonna be my point.
I'm
I
with you
swear
on that.
down,
They need to bring back away goals, man. They need
Bring
to
it
bring
back.
back
yeah,
away
man.
goals in the
I'm
knockout phase. I agree with that.
personally, I'm still not over that, man. I just feel that took a little bit away from the competition because it works both it works both ways. It can go for you and it can definitely go against you. Yeah, I know. I've been in person and had to experience some heartache that way. Trust me, as Chelsea fans, we've been through it as well. But no, I agree in terms of like the potential of fixtures that you get through this format. I think it gives the fans us what we want in terms of you get more likelihood of a juggernaut fixture, and the top teams also have an opportunity to rectify mistakes, and so do the ones that are perhaps underdogs. Like there's just interesting ways to write it. There's so many different ways to write a great story now. You've got so many more possibilities. So I guess from that side of things, yeah, it's cool, but please just bring back the away goals, man. Bring back some heritage into the Champions League.
I 100% agree that, and that's the only issue I had with it. Bring back the away goals when the knockout competition comes around, because
Yes.
what it does, it prompts a team to either say, "Hey, we have to go attacking based on the first leg," because the juice is really in the second leg. The
Yeah, of
juice is
course.
really in the second leg, because in the first leg, you know what, you give up a goal, you give up 2 goals, and you score a goal. Actually, it's the entire time. Because think about it this way: the first leg, you go guns blazing, you score a goal. The second leg, the other team has to tactically adjust. So let's say you are a traditional Atletico Madrid team that defends. You have to now come out and score if you're
Yeah.
behind. If you're behind the 8 ball, you get what I'm saying. So bring back away goals rule. I want that goal to be scored and people be confused in the stadium. Wait. Are we going through, or is the other
Yeah,
team
you
going
need
through?
that.
Yeah,
100%. And also, it encourages teams away from home because this is why, for those that don't know, this is why it was brought in, was to encourage teams away from home to attack. So imagine the team's 2-1 up in the old format. They'll go, hey, we're 2-1 up here. do you not have something in your mind? Do we go for it and try to get the third goal, which may potentially kill the tie? Or do we sit in and go, hey, let's take this 2-1 lead back to our place? Whereas now that's been taken away. I do want the away. And like Guni said, I've seen Manchester United go through on away goals. Going out on away goals is a signal. Oh, Lord.
Bro. But as a rival fan, seeing any team, and it's not just Manchester United, seeing Manchester United, Barcelona, any team I'm supporting on the day, seeing them go through on away goals, because it'll be crazy. You'll see the scoreline 3-2, but the one that scored 2 goals go through. Yeah, that's it. On the final day, it's crazy. I would 100% love for them to bring back away goals and continue in that format. Who do you guys have has your dark horses this season?
Chelsea. Swear down.
Nah, I hear it. I just don't like my answer. That's why I sighed like that. There's nothing to do with you, Guni. I just don't like my thought process. That's what it is. Because I got like favorites like PSG. I look at PSG, I look at Barca, I look at Liverpool, but then you lot are right there in the mix.
Wait, are we your dark horses?
You lot, now it's just, you know what? You're right there.
Don't change it now.
Because I've been weighing this up. You feel me? Because you're right there, 110%. You are right there. You are one of the better teams in the competition. But as bad as the team I'm about to mention have been, I look at them from a talent perspective and go, at any given day, you have so much talent that can win you a tie. So I'm going to go Real Madrid.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Real Madrid in this competition. It's impossible for them to be a dark horse.
Yeah.
Try again. Card rejected.
No, we're not doing that. The reason why, because if they face you lot in a 2-legged tie, if it's Arsenal, if it's Liverpool, if it's PSG, or if it's Barca, they're not the favourites.
And that's where I'm going to argue.
They're not the
Real Madrid are always the favourites. I don't care what anyone says. You do not win this competition 15 times, and people are still putting you as the underdog.
Because you know why? Because we know the team is not there. That's why I said it. Team-wise, they're not better than you lot. They're not better than
worse Real Madrid teams with Champions Leagues. What are we talking about?
From a talent perspective, yes, but not team-wise.
No, bro, I understand what you're saying. If this was a league match, I hear it. But I am not. Try again. Card decline. No, I refuse to accept that answer.
No, because it's facts. Because you're right. This is why I've got them as the dark horse. You're further backing up my point. Talent-wise, Madrid have it. I've said this before. I think talent-wise, I think they have the most talented team in regards to individuals in the competition. However, from a balanced perspective and a team perspective, I think there's teams that clear them. I think you lot are a better side.
I understand that, but my point of view, see, you're coming from this direction, may I fall from Yasa. My point of view is this. Based on their history, based on how we know they can pull off wins in this competition, it is impossible. I don't care what's going on with that team at any given time.
Who's your top 3 favorites then, Javon? Who have you got top 3? You don't have to put it in order for the Champions League as of now. Who's your top 3? Scratch that. Top 5.
Jeez, I'm afraid I want it. I don't matter. PSG, because they're the champions. You know, gotta give them a shot. Real Madrid, because of the history. Bro, this is Madrid. I've learned my lesson. Guni, you remember when we got over Madrid? You remember when we went down to Madrid when we were in the yellow top and we played them off the park, but somehow they still went through.
They still made it through, bro.
Kante gave the ball away to Modric. Was it that one?
Okay, shut the bro, tap it. Yes, that's what I with you know. Let's come with some foolishness. But yes, I'm never counting them out. Barcelona, because Flick is doing some wonderful work attacking wise down there, but the issue is defensively. It's always gonna be defensively. So we have Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona. Dare I say it? Inzaghi left. I was an Inzaghi fan, so no Inter.
No Liverpool.
Liverpool. I don't know why. For some reason, we didn't even talk about Liverpool.
Yeah, don't talk about them, man. We don't talk about Liverpool, man.
Let's watch this right now, and of course, let's watch this right now. Complaining. Liverpool for sure. Actually. Is it in order or no particular order?
No. I just wanted your 5. That's what.
So Liverpool.
We don't get to the order.
Okay,
But I
so
didn't want
Liverpool,
you thinking
PSG, Real
about that
Madrid.
right now. Go on.
Okay, Liverpool, PSG,
Yeah.
Liverpool, PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid. I cannot say Chelsea because I have them as dark horse. Because no one expects us to do anything, and that's how I like it. That's when we
There's
normally
no
win.
expectation. No. You are the leaders of the dark horse. You're the
Ex-
leader of that pack.
Exactly.
In
You
my
see me? So
opinion.
we can't be in the
No.
top
You
five.
the leader of that pack, and I think Real Madrid are number 2 in that pack.
Oh
But you're
my lord!
leader of
You
that pack.
asked me for my top five, sir. You asked me for my top five, sir. Don't be disrespectful.
So what's 5? So you got PSG, Barca, Real Madrid, Liverpool, and then who's 5?
You're not
Who
going to put Munich in there.
the thing?
Just say Chelsea.
I'm
Man.
gonna
You know
go
you want to.
Munich because of default. But the reason why I'm so unsure is because the
Ooh, Man
options.
City.
No, Man City now do shit, brother. Flawless face. What? What did you just?
Man City ain't doing shit. Okay.
Bro,
Okay.
I'm gonna go Bayern Munich, but the reason why I hesitated is because their options off the bench haven't been what it was in the past.
I hear
But
it.
that's my top five. Guni, you go next, and then let's hear Flawless's top five.
Right, my top 5 in terms of favourites. I swear, I want to be brave and take Chelsea out of the dark horses. Am I allowed to do that?
Of course, it's your top 5 as Javon.
Is it your top five?
Top 5.
Oh, no,
Okay.
but I the foolishness though.
In no particular order.
No
Chelsea,
Go on.
Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barca, and Man City. Because I think if Man City get to a point where they know they ain't going to do great in the league, but they got a choice in the Champions League,
Yeah, go
they
for
might
it.
throw all them eggs in that basket.
But
I don't really see Man City winning the league this year, so I don't see it happening.
same. But my issue with Manchester is defensively. In UCL, you have to have a good defensive structure.
I hear it.
So that's why for me, that's why I said them now. Do not. Pep shall suffer for his sins. Anyways, continue. Flawless. What we saying?
Why? What sins? What sins did
We
Pep
talk
do?
about that next show.
All right. Cool. Barcelona, PSG, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City. That's not in order. If you ask me in order, it's PSG. No, sorry, it's Barcelona, PSG, Liverpool, Chelsea, then City.
My order would be Liverpool, PSG, Real Madrid. No, Liverpool, PSG, Barcelona, Bayern, and Real Madrid. Again, I definitely echo everything you said about Real Madrid, but because of everything they've done, I'm just not going to be a fool and cut them out completely because that's when they normally rise. And my dark horse is Chelsea, of course. Guni, what's your order?
The holders have got to be number 1 for me. I'm going to respect PSG as champs. So they will be number 1. Number 2 will be Real Madrid. Number 3, I'm going Liverpool. Number 4, I'm going Chelsea. And number 5, yeah, we'll go Barca.
All right. So given that we spoke about the teams, right? Because we're gonna wrap up soon. Let's speak about before one last topic on the teams, and then we transition to the players. Which team do you think needs the UCL the most this season? Out of all our top fives, because we can't cover all the teams here, but out of all our top fives.
Chelsea and City.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Why? Because you're gonna have to explain. No, we're gonna give Flawless some time to think about his answer and give me some time to,
That's a good question.
Because-
Who's under the
look,
most pressure to deliver the champs?
who
'Cause
needs it?
Go on, Guni.
Because City ain't won the league. They didn't win the league last season. And you know, City are a club that they demand success. And they've got the personnel to do it. So I think Pep definitely needs to bring home a trophy. 2 seasons without a major trophy, a PL or a Champions League for them is crisis. And with Chelsea, I'm starting to feel like we've gone so long without a Premier League that we have to compensate in other ways. By we have to win in Europe. And the thing is while it's a cup competition, and we've shown that we can perform in cup competitions, we've set an expectation for ourselves. Because us winning, I know it's, listen, completely different competition, but us winning the Club World Cup did not help in terms of, putting more pressure on this team. It just goes to show you guys can win. Go and do it again now. And you beat the champions of Europe to do it. Yes, it's not a it's not a one team game, of course not. But making this that's the statement that was made there. Now I expect you to follow through.
Yeah, because the way Chelsea went out and won, if we had scraped a 1-0, then there wouldn't be. But the way we kind of dismantle them, and we won another European Cup competition, because we won everything that there is to win in football. Just putting that
Yeah,
out there.
exactly. And there's that too. We've cleared football, so there's the expectation of these guys have to perform.
Yep, flawless.
Oh, yeah. I ain't taking the bait. Yeah, you think you slick? Yeah, this guy is slick,
Long live the show.
For
Continue.
me, I hear what Guni's saying in regards to Manchester City. Like, I think he's spot on there, like, in 2 years. And I think if they don't this year, I think he's got one more year before it is ultimate
Yeah, because
crisis and panic stations. Because
and
of
that's the
what
thing.
he's done
He
previously.
built up grace.
Yeah,
That's the
but I
thing.
think he is. So I think 2 years, I think people will go, all right, third year, you have to. But I actually think Barcelona, they've not won the Champions League in a while. Flick's in charge. Look at Yamal's there. Because there's going to come a point, and Yamal's cold. Like, no disputing it. Yamal is him right now, top quality. We've already spoke about the midfield earlier on in this segment as well. Earlier on in the show as well. So I look at it with Flick and with Jamal and Lewandowski and Rafinha and that midfield. You've got to deliver. Because everybody, if you talk to, I don't think I've heard anyone have Barcelona below top two in regards to favourites. Even whether you have Liverpool, whether it's PSG, but Barca are here there. Worst case scenario, you have them free. So worst case scenario, you have them free. They have one of the better managers in the competition. I don't think Flick falls below 3. You've got Yamal, who is just from an individual perspective, people would argue he's the best player in the competition. If you have someone above him, cool. But again, no lower than 2 or 3. Same with their midfield as well. No lower than 2 or 3. Their attack overall. No, so you have all these high ratings. You're 1, 2, or 3, and you haven't won in so long. So I'd probably say Barcelona. And especially the way they went out last season as well. They should have beaten them, man.
Yeah. So Barcelona, do you have another team or just Barca?
I'm gonna help you out, Flawless. There's a team that spent nearly $500 million.
Yeah, I was gonna, you know what?
Yeah, I knew Guni was gonna cover the Liverpool.
Really,
The Liverpool
kind of on the
pressure.
same web because I wasn't even gonna go with them because I've been having this conversation about Arsenal, and it's kind of like because we don't believe in them, it's not right. The expectation goes down because there's just a lack of
Arsenal.
belief outside of Arsenal fans. Nobody thinks they gonna win the Premier or champs. Let's be real. It's only if you ask them when you do a survey and say who's winning the Premier League or Champions League, if they say Arsenal, you already know they are Arsenal fan. I've not heard anybody outside of their fan base say
No
that.
neutral. No neutral.
It's a fact, though.
Get somebody neutral, and they're not telling you Arsenal, and that's because of the manager. So I think that's why it lowers the pressure because there's not belief. For me, depending on how it goes in the Premier League, I'm looking at Liverpool too.
Yeah.
Because you lot went machine for machine with PSG, only went out on penalties even though they was the better side. You've invested all this money. If they do win the Premier League, then there isn't. But I'd say with Liverpool, I think they can only go out to PSG or Barcelona. I think if they go out to anybody bar those two, people are looking at them funny. If it's Chelsea, if it's Arsenal, if it's City, if it's Real Madrid, if it's anyone outside of that, if it's Bayern Munich, I think people look out there. You should go out to them. PSG or Barca, I hear it, but the others no.
But that's but that's where the question gets murky. Who needs it? Not who's under pressure to win it.
Who needs it? I think I still stand on it, like in regards to them, depending on how it goes in the like
In the
they've spent
league.
all this, they've spent that money they've spent isn't just to win the Premier League. That is domination money.
Yeah.
That is
exactly.
to clean up and win everything. You don't break the record twice in the same window and bring in Isak, who some would say One of the best strikers in Europe. I agree with that. You got Vert, one of the best 10s. Salah, one of the best wingers. Van Dijk, one of the best centre-backs. Alisson, one of the best goalkeepers. Kind of similar to how I was talking about Barcelona. You can't have all these number ones and number twos in Europe, and then there's no need for you to win it. Nah, you have to. You can't get these accolades. You can't get these titles and accolades
Praises
and
and
not deliver.
accolades and
Yeah.
yeah.
Because if I sat here and said Alisson's not top 2 in Europe, man will want my head on a stake. You know what I'm saying?
True.
If I said that about Salah, if I said Wirtz is not top 3 10s in the competition, or if I said Isak's not top 3 strikers, man ain't trying to hear all that. So therefore, these are the expectations that come with these things. That's just me, though.
Yeah, I agree. For me, who needs it. Listen, there's a lot of perspective here, and I'll include you guys in the conversation because it's more than too close for me, right? Because let's start with the Real Madrid perspective. The champions, the kings of this competition, right? They didn't win the league last year. They didn't win anything last year, and we know what the pressure is like at Real Madrid. We know what it's like at Real Madrid. You don't bring home a major, you're under pressure. Xabi Alonso did an invincible season at Leverkusen. So unless they're going to focus on the league, which I don't think they are, which I think they are, but given the stature of Real Madrid, they want both, right? In my opinion, Real Madrid has an argument to say they need this competition, especially if they're going to go up against Barca for this competition. You know, so when you look at that perspective, I could see where Real Madrid needed. Plus, Mbappe has never won a Champions League. There's something to prove there. You know, him becoming the main guy, there's something to prove there. Let's go to the Liverpool perspective. Liverpool just spent $500 million in the transfer window.
There you go.
Right? Brought in the best striker in Europe, one of the best heads in Europe. They still have Van Dijk. And in recent years, they've only won the Champions League once. Plus, if you look at the manager perspective, Slot already won the league last season. Normally we see with these coaches or these teams, if they're not going to dominate every single competition, if they win, let's say they won the Champions League the season prior, this season would be all guns blazing for the league. For some reason, I think he's going to focus on the Champions League this season more, especially how they went on last season, right? Barcelona perspective, I'm just going to echo everything Flawless said. Bayern Munich. When was the last time Bayern Munich won the Champions League?
I think there's a need for them because you know why I don't? Because the team's not there. The team's not there. There's Bayern Munich. Look at their team overall. Like their team is not.
You don't think it's up to par?
No,
It's just top heavy, really.
You guys have a point.
It's like all right, Kane. We know Kane, bad boy striker, gonna do his thing, put up numbers, etc. At least say cold winger, yes. Musiala, once he gets back, yes, him.
That's it. Luis Diaz.
That's like what more after it?
Nicholas Jackson.
You look at, like, who's it? Yeah, you might
look at Guni's face. Say, what?
Yeah, like and they even got a manager who you look at and go, all right, he can hide those deficiencies.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, okay, so maybe
that's why I look at with Bayern Munich. I don't look at them; they're not even on the radar. I look at to go, they're going to go in the competition.
Okay, for me, I'm gonna say right, not even biased, but logically, Chelsea needs the Champions League, and here's why. Okay. While everything I stand for and everything, all the channels I've been on, all the shows I've been featured on, I genuinely think we should make a title run for the league. But realistically, who needs a trophy out of all these teams? It's Chelsea. When was the last time we brought home a major? 2021 was when we won the Champions League. When Chelsea, it's very hard to stop saying we, but y'all know what it is. When Chelsea brought home the Champions League, right? We've seen what we can do in cup competition. We've seen what Maresca can do tactically in cup competition. Plus, when you look at some of our players, right? Because this is where you can't zone out if you want Flawless. But when you look at some of our players, right, we don't get the highlight. We do not get the highlight. No, come back. We don't do this on this show. This show you stay on camera. You see me? This show you stay on camera. No, for real. But realistically, when you look at, unless, and this is why Flawless is on the show, because he knows us to be impartial. When you look at players like Caicedo, when you look at players like Palmer, when you look at players like Enzo, Lavia, and Cole, they don't get the highlight that they should because they're not playing on the grandest stage.
True.
They're not doing what we've seen them do that we can say, oh, this is a world-class tackle. This is a world-class pass. This is world-class consistent performances. They don't get the highlight they do until they play. And because they weren't playing on the world stage. And let's be honest, the champ, I know the league, apart from the league, which is your bread and butter, this is the biggest competition for football season in, season out.
100%.
Right?
Right.
So, because from a Chelsea perspective, not only do these players need to perform, but from a club perspective, we need to bring them out a major under this ownership. Let me rephrase that. We need to bring home a major title under this ownership to show that whatever they're doing is making some form of work in progress. Yes, we lap up the Conference League. Yes, we lap up the Club World Cup. And to be honest, as a Chelsea fan, we're really just talking about that final. Screw whatever and Joe Pedro's performances, but we're really just talking about that. This is a final. If it was just a one-off game and we perform like that in the final, then it would have still been the same uproar. But if we can get some of our players, like it hurts my heart to hear how people talk about Caicedo just because they haven't seen him on the top stage.
But now you have the opportunity to do so, and why it's a great question is because I don't remember a time where it is, and obviously you're always under pressure at being big clubs when you have great players and spend big money, but there's so many cases to be made for so many different teams for various reasons of needing to win this competition.
Mm-hmm.
So
most definitely.
Like you can look at the 4 English clubs, even take out like even with the Arteta factor. Look at the 4 English clubs. They all look at it and go, "You might have Chelsea fans talking about, hey, why not? Let's make a run." I know right now, but before even asking you, look, if you go out early, you'll be extremely disappointed.
Of course,
extremely disappointed.
Yeah,
even though you're not saying even though you're saying this guy crazy. But even though you ain't saying, hey, Chelsea are the number one in the competition outright, you're saying, no, we can. And I think all the other fan bases of the other English clubs echo that. Real Madrid, you mentioned it. Without doubt, they don't care. Us 3 could be playing up top for Real Madrid. Their expectation is to win the Champions League. No matter who's wearing that white kit, hey, you must. They don't care.
Facts, but not facts.
They don't care. You got Barcelona who haven't won it in 10 years. So that's 6 teams already. PSG, because
they haven't won it in 10 years?
I think it's 2015 for Barca.
Yes, stop.
It's true.
Since the trouble season.
Is it? Yeah. Let me double check that.
No. They haven't won it since the trouble season. It's been Madrid, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, PSG, Man City.
Let me double check that.
Guni so shocked he took off his hat.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, I'm looking at 23 hours, right? 2015, they won it.
10 years,
the last
bro.
time they won it is 2015. So it's like they're on. So you got the 2 Spanish clubs, PSG, because of what they did. So you got 7 teams who you look at and go, yeah. All fan bases of all of those 7 teams will be like, yeah, there's no reason why we shouldn't.
All right, last topic, because this is the first episode. The next episode, hopefully that's when the Champions League gets underway and then we can start hitting into these matches. Top players, boys. Who we looking out for? Any surprises? And who do you think needs it the most? Which players need to shine? I'll go first. I'll go first.
Sorry, let's put it out there.
You're going to expound on that. Caicedo. Because them are disrespecting the boss. They're disrespecting Caicedo, so you... Bro, at Chelsea, don't bother with the foolishness. Don't perform like how we know you can perform when the UCL lights are on, the music is playing, and you give us a Crystal Palace performance. But we burn down something. Secondly, Parma when he's back. I need you to show up and shout and put this world-class debate to rest. Okay? Joe Pedro rise and Esteval. You see what Suchman, what's Suchman name? Suchman. Yamal is doing? Come show up and show out. Right? No, that's from the Chelsea perspective. And Enzo, don't play with me. Let's part that. Right?
What about your Argentinian winger, man?
Garnacho.
Part that. Hey, bro. Hey, stop it. So we part that to the side. Mbappe, from a Real Madrid perspective, Mbappe has something to prove, right? He's going to want to try and break Ronaldo's record, and he's going to want to try and bring him a Champions League. Because if you look at the storyline regarding Mbappe, he's going to want to be the Ronaldo successor. And he's missing a Champions League. He didn't get it at PSG, and he had a rocky first season at Real Madrid. So that Anyamal, the star boy, because I don't know, all biases aside, he's gonna want to show up. And if he does, and Spain does well at the World Cup, we could be talking about that a Ballon d'Or, Ballon d'Or season for Yamal. Who's a player I'm missing? I think that's it. Those are my players that I'm expecting to, show up. Desiree maybe. Dembele. I think the Dembele thing was just a one season top tier season, and Dembele will regress back to type. And yeah, those are my players that I'm expecting. If any surprise players, maybe Gonzalez from Real Madrid, but that was from that. Maybe Rashford. Maybe we'll see what he does. But yeah, flawless. The floor is yours.
Yeah, like I said, man, Isak and Wirtz, two most expensive players in their position in the competition. Both went for world record fees. Both in a quality side that just won the Premier League.
Both my players.
We're looking at you. Like, you lot have to deliver. Whether Liverpool, and I'm not like biased like
he has something against Liverpool, bro.
Yeah, of course, without doubt. Like, definitely for Liverpool. They number one up forever. However, even if Liverpool don't win the competition, if they perform well, I'll say that. I'll go, you know what? Isak and Wirtz shown up. It wasn't on them but you lot better show up. You can't go out to PSG anymore. Yeah, Wirtz was quiet. Isak was quiet. Nah, man, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You lot spent all this money on all this top quality and won the league, and now it's aiming to dominate. Guess what? What comes with that is a whole heap of expectation. So I'm looking at Isak. I'm looking at Wirtz. Those two, without question.
Only those two?
Echo what you say in regards to the Chelsea lot, because this is the first time they've been on that stage. Caicedo and Palmer. They're the two. Because I think they're the two who are in that cusp, people would say, whether they're world class or just below that. So now you have the ability to put all of those conversations to bed. If Caicedo, again, you don't have to win the competition, but perform high. B, when we're talking about Champions League at the end of the competition, Champions League team of the season, or team of the campaign, I should say, you're in the conversation, even if you don't necessarily get in. Same with Palmer as well. In regards to, I'm trying to think who else.
Mbappe.
The new City lot, I would say. Everyone's spoke highly about Rangers. Turkey again, like very similar to what I was talking about with Isak and what I was talking about with Wirtz. Turkey's came, even though the money wasn't there, coming with a big reputation. Rangers come in with a big reputation as well. And it's not like you're going to some terrible side. You're surrounded with quality, and Pep Guardiola's managing. So I look at Mamouche as well. And he's been in Europe already. So that's who I'm looking at in regards to that. You mentioned it, Real Madrid, of course. Everyone's under the spotlight, in particular Mbappe, Vinicius Jr. They're the two everyone's looking at, like, all right, can you two deliver? Because if you don't, is Vinicius Jr. moved on? Barcelona, Yamal, it goes without saying, because Yamal's Yamal. So it goes without saying in regards to that. So yeah, that's what I'd say.
And Baltimore. Let me see our Newcastle kind of Baltimore.
Baltimore
there. Guni, who are your players?
All right, so I'm going to go with two players. I think your original question was one who will surprise and one who needs it. I believe that was the original question.
Who will surprise and who do you think? It's really three. Top players, who will surprise and who do you think needs a stage?
I answered them all apart from who surprised, so I'll have to think. But yeah, go on, Guni.
So in terms of who will surprise, I think João Pedro will, 100%. Like, I think that man's just going to perform and just show his quality because, like, I'll be the first person to tell you, when we signed him, I was completely underwhelmed. But when I got to see him in person, I was like, no, this is a proper player. And I think this is going to be his real, like, breakthrough season, as the conversation where everybody, even outside Chelsea fans, are going to say this guy could become a world-class player. I honestly think that's where he is now. So I'm going to give him that one, the surprise package. Yeah, man. In terms of who needs to perform, I'm going to have to go with one of Flawless's options, and that's Florian Wirtz. In fact, yeah. Do you know, because you see with him, he's come for a Premier League record, a world record for an attacking midfielder, I believe. 150 million is just ridiculous. If that's how much they paid, it's just ridiculous. So naturally, that price tag is definitely going to add pressure. And in a position where he's playing as well, where he's expected to do so much to facilitate for the attack, I think the pressure is definitely on him in terms of the quality that he's also going to have around him. I mean, you're going to have Ekitike, Isak and Salah. You have got no excuse to not perform. even if you perform at 50% of your ability, you should still come out with something with those three in front of you. If you cannot create or be amongst the goal scoring names, then there's definitely you're a fraud, 100%, because it's just set up there for you to just do well. I'm not trying. I'm not because listen. I'm not trying to hear. Oh, he needs time. Listen, because when it was Caicedo signing for Chelsea, it was look how much you spent. He needs to hit the ground running now. This, that, and the other. So we're gonna keep the same energy with that.
PS people, there might be a bit of a agenda there because they keep comparing this man to his son. Just put that out there.
That's not even a conversation. You see, when Moose gets back,
oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, you see what you got me started. You got me started.
I'm just playing.
A player who I think is just gonna just do well. That's a good question.
It's a tough one.
I'm gonna go. Shit, that's a tough one. Sorry. But you know what? I'm going to say Vitinha.
Ooh. You think he's going to replicate from last season?
I believe so. I think he's going to be key for PSG to go as far as they did, or to potentially even win it again. Because for me, he was just integral in that midfield. And I just believe his IQ and his mindset just allows PSG to play how they play. 100%. And there's always, you see in these teams that play that technical, beautiful possession type of football, there's always a player for me that represents that. For Barcelona, for me, it's Pedri. For PSG, for me, it's definitely Vitinha. So I definitely think he's one that's going to perform well.
I agree. I wasn't thinking about Vitinha, but let's think I said
Vitinha is definitely that. But in regards to it, Guni just mentioned him. For me, even though we know his quality and he's performed at a good level, because that team is my pick to win it, I'm looking at Pedri. I think he's going to be the one that everybody looks at because we know his quality. But I think
he hasn't had that season. I get what you're saying.
That season where people go, oh, like you are really him, even though we all know the quality's there from Pedri. Because Pedri, alongside Vitinha, was just one of my favorite midfielders to watch. It's ridiculous how good he is. Pedri, ridiculous. So I think I'll go with Pedri in regards to that. I think this will be the season people will go, oh, yeah, he's him. That's what I think it'll be.
Yeah, I agree. And with that being said, people, we are going to wrap up. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe to the Panelist podcast. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe to Flawless. Flawless, let them know what you have coming up.
Yeah, people. So first and foremost, big up for having me. Appreciate it. Big up every single time. Shout out to Guni because it's been a minute since I've worked with Guni, so it's good to be back working with you, Guni. Sarcasm City TV on YouTube, people, live every day. You see, you know what I'm saying, Javon, this guy, this joker over here who be trying to set man up at certain points on there. You see him over on my channel, Yardman Show, people, every Saturday alongside Lex and Kaneki. That's just one of the many shows, but live every day, people, covering Premier League, all the big six as well. So get over to the Sarcasm City TV YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and we'll probably be live.
Guni, I know you'll be back on the show. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, not really. I think I've got off most of my thoughts. Yeah, except follow me on just socials, man. The No Channel at the minute. If you want to find me, then you got to follow Javon. You got to follow Flawless. You got to follow all your favorites because you might just see me there. Yeah, right now I'm moving like a vigilante. You'll just see me here, there, and everywhere. You know what I mean? But I've got no permanent home right now. But, you know what I'm saying? Just, hit the subscribe button, people, man.
And if you want to see Guni throw out people on Twitter, follow this man at Man Knows Football. Because he be throwing out people. From David, from Fabrizio Romano, Jacob, to even Matisse. I think you threw out Jacob Ramsey at one point. Yeah, he be throwing out people. He threw out Nicholas Jackson. Yeah, so follow that and people bless up. God, peace.